Does serving the community just feel like a big chore sometimes? It certainly can. And yet, serving others or serving our community can actually help us in our own life change process. In today's episode, we're going to talk about different questions we can ask when it comes to serving the community. Let's get started. Welcome to Vida Bunda, a place where we talk about living intentionally, about how we can give and live more abundantly. When I was a kid, I decided that I was tired of seeing the potholes on our street. So one Saturday morning I went out there with a wheelbarrow and I tried to fix the potholes. Now unfortunately my pothole repair job didn't last very long. However, it was an act of service, and some of the neighbors really thanked me. They stopped to thank me for the work that I was doing. Later on I started planting trees and going and doing little gardens, different places as different ways of serving. And I learned a lot through that. Even though it was hard work at times, it was very hot and sweaty at times, and yet it brought me so much joy. So today we're going to talk about questions we can ask when it comes to community service. And the very first question we want to ask ourselves is why? Why should we serve the community? Now the first thing is that we just live in a world where there are so many needs. Many people are suffering and having difficult times. There are things that just need to be done in the community to make the community a better place for everyone. So we can actually play a role in improving the community around us and making life better for other people, in bringing smiles to other people's faces, in giving them moments of joy, or maybe helping them with longer lasting solutions. We can actually make a difference. So one of the reasons we serve other people and serve the community as a whole is so that other people can benefit. But it's not just other people that benefit when we serve the community. We ourselves can also benefit. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the episode, but we know that when we serve others, it actually brings us a sense of satisfaction and of joy as well. The fact that we're helping others gives us some meaning, gives us some purpose. So it not only makes their lives better, but it also makes our life better. And in fact, as we start to volunteer, as we start to impact the community around us, it actually begins to change us too. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with people that perhaps I thought I was trying to serve, but at the end of the day, the interaction that I had with them, their lives actually started changing my life. I can give you examples of, talking to street kids, for example, who are living on the street, little children, and just listening to their perspective, listening to their stories, and how that shaped my life. Or working in communities either in Central America or in Africa, living in high levels of poverty, building houses for people who lost everything during the war. It's me who ended up changing more than just that. So the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, why should we serve others? And you might feel that it's just a calling, that it's something you just need to do, something that you feel like it's an obligation to be part of your life. Now, once we've decided why we should be serving the community, the next question to ask ourselves is what? What are we going to do? Where should we serve? How should we serve? But specifically, the what exactly are we going to be doing? And there are so many possibilities, so many needs, so many organizations that need assistance, so many people that need help. It can be hard sometimes to figure out what the best place is for us to contribute. Now, sometimes there's a case for saying, well, I have a certain set of skills and experiences that could be really beneficial in this particular place. And so we could try to find an opportunity that matches our skills and experience, where we can actually bring something, tangible technical skills, for example, to help an organization that might be struggling with the lack of those skills. Or we can use some of the experience that we've had and share that with people who are going through harder times to help them overcome those hard times and have a better life. But I think there's also a place for just regular old manual labor. No matter how many experiences and how many skills we have, it can actually be beneficial for us when we just go and we help to build a house, or we're hauling things, or picking up garbage, whatever it is. Just something that's manual, that seems menial, but at the end of the day, not only does it help the community, but it also helps to change our perspective. So as we're thinking about the what, it's also a good chance for us to think about, what could I do to free up more time and more resources to be able to better serve my community? So we've talked about the why, we've talked about the what. The third question we want to ask ourselves is the how. And there are a few things I'd love to share about how in this section. The first is that when we're going to serve others, it'd be great if we could serve with desire and with joy. You know, if you're really grumpy about being out there and doing whatever menial job it is, people will notice. Maybe you're in a soup kitchen handing out food. If you're really not happy to be there, not wanting to be there, the impact overall, even though the person might still get food, is going to be different than if you are there with a smile on your face, with joy, really desiring to be there because you want to help those people. So do it with joy. Secondly, do it with humility. As I mentioned, I've learned so much from people that I have been trying to help. At the end of the day, they actually helped me. But in order for that to happen, we have to approach the whole situation with humility, understanding that even though the people that we're interacting with right now might be going through a hard time, perhaps they had even more than we did in the past at some point. Perhaps they suffered a terrible tragedy, or they got some kind of disease. Perhaps, a calamity struck their family or their situation that caused them to be in this dire straits that they are now. So let's take time to really get to know people as individuals. Every person is unique and special, and they have things that they can teach us too, even if we think we're there to serve them. At the end of the day, we need to come with humility. And finally, we need to come with wisdom. There are a lot of times that our good intentions actually end up causing more harm than helping somebody else. And this happens all over the world all the time. So as we want to help people, we want to find the best way to help people. We need to actually have a lot of wisdom. Is the thing that I'm doing right now actually going to be beneficial in the long run? Or is it enabling negative behavior? Is it creating dependency? Is it perhaps creating other problems unintentionally? Even though my heart motivation is to actually serve and to do the right thing. If I don't have a lot of wisdom, at the end of the day, what might happen is that I create more damage, more harm than I ever dreamed I would by trying to help. We're going to talk about that more in a future episode about how to help people well. But for today, let's just remember the how. We want to do it with joy. We want to do it because we want to be there. We want to do it with humility, and we want to do it with wisdom. AmeriCorps has done us a great service by compiling a lot of different scientific research that has been done on volunteering and the benefits of volunteering and putting it all into a simple little page or format that we'll share in the notes below. But I just want to highlight a few things that have come out in scientific research about the benefits of serving others, of volunteering. People who volunteer tend to live much longer, they have longer lives, they have more satisfying lives, they have less incidence of depression, they have less disease. So there are both the physical health benefits and also the mental health benefits when we volunteer. However, the research shows that you actually have to volunteer. There's a minimum threshold at which you need to volunteer in order to get those benefits. Some studies say 40 hours a year, some studies say 100 hours a year, some studies say 2 different organizations, so different options there. But the point is you need to be doing it on a consistent basis in order to really reap the benefits of volunteering on a regular basis. So let me encourage you, take time sometime in the next week to think about your life and your community service. Think about why you might be serving if you already are, or why you're not serving yet, but why you maybe should. Think about the what you're going to be doing, and think about the how to do it when you actually are serving other people. If you'd like some help with this, I have a simple free tool that you can use. Just asks a few questions for you to think about. You can fill it out. It's absolutely free. If you're interested in that, drop us a line. Go to vidabunda.com, that's vidabunda.com, and click on contact and say requesting the tool for intentionally serving the community. Thanks for joining us today. Looking forward to seeing you in another episode.